So some of you have seen the video that Brian Red did, and I'll put that link in the description below, talking about imposter syndrome. And I think this is one of those situations and one of those things. This is my thoughts on it, by the way. Brian has talked about it in a couple of different videos. But I think this is one of the things that most DJs have a level of this. Most people out there have a level of this. What imposter syndrome basically is the idea that I'm not good enough to be able to fulfill the role in which I want to be known for. In the DJ world, that I'm not that people have hired me to do a job or to do this thing, and I get this feeling of inadequacy that I don't have what it takes to do that. That basically I'm faking it. I'm out there being an imposter and not being able to. I feel like I can't do it, or I won't be able to do it. And we get this thing in our head, and it can be really, really limiting for us in a lot of ways. And you can experience it in a lot of different areas in life. One of the areas you can see back here, one of my numbers from running, that's something I've gotten into the last couple of years. And that's a huge area in which I will go, and before races, I'll be looking at all these younger, faster people type of thing. And it's like, oh my gosh, I don't belong here. Even right now, before the season of running starts, it's like, I don't belong here. I'm not in the same league as these people. I don't have the same skills. I don't have the same whatever. And you start hearing that voice in the back of your head. And again, it's everywhere. It's in the DJ industry. It's in your life. The imposter syndrome is a real thing. The way I think is the best way to quiet that voice, probably the best way to describe it, is to lean in on your training. And this is, again, coming from the running side of it, but it really comes across to everything that you do. Trust your training. Trust your practice. Trust the time you put into it. So let's stick with the running, and then we'll come into the DJ. I put a lot of time into running. I do different things, different speed training and different things such as that. And in my training, I can go and do these times that will be very, very solid on a race course. But yet, there's that nagging doubt in the back of my mind that I don't belong on the same. Look at these 30-year-olds, and they're like physical specimens, and here I'm an old guy. What I can't. Trust the training. And sometimes it's like to have that, just quiet that voice and just say, I put in the time, I practiced, I have got myself, and I deserve to be here because I can do it. Let's correlate that to the DJ world. In the running, I can go run every day and lift weights and do things. In the DJ world, this is why training, whether it's going to conventions and learning there, or spending time reading and researching and networking with people, and then also practicing. Practicing is training. Putting these things together, learning about your gear, learning how to program your light show to be the most effective with that, learning how to use your controller, learning how to mix music, learning about music, practicing making those mixes, practicing getting two weird songs and see if you can mix two weird songs two weird eclectic songs that don't fit together whatsoever. See what you can do. Practice that way. You do these things, and that way when it gets to that point where you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I've got this big event where there's going to be a lot of people, you can fall back and say, you know what, I put in the practice, I put in the training, I am ready for this, I can do this because I have got the skills that I have been honing. I may never have had an opportunity to show them on a stage this big before, but I have put in the practice. I can lean in on my training to know that I can go out there, and that will help quiet that imposter, that syndrome voice. That's there for all of us. It's just a question of some people can lean into their training. They put in the time and the work, and they can be successful. Now, for those of you who've never gone and practiced anything, you basically just show up and play, and that's it. Yeah, you're probably, one of two things. You're oblivious to it, and there's some people out there who are like that. They're just happily oblivious to the world going around them, and you know those people. You probably had one of them that was your best friend in high school who was the party friend that just did their whole thing. They lived their life, and all this one fun thing to the next. Oblivious people is one side of it. The other side is going to be those people who just don't care. They're going to go out there and they're going to promise the world, and they don't care. But for most of us, we're going to have that feeling in there, and we're going to have that gnawing inadequacy, which raises our stress level and raises our anxiety. So how do we combat that? We We lean into our training. We lean in and say, I have put in the time. I have put in what it takes to be at this level. This is my biggest stage I'm ever going to play on, and I have practiced. I have my sets down. I have my announcements. I practice them so they come across cleanly and everything. I've worked as an MC. I've worked as a mixologist. Whatever it is, you have put in the practice and training so you can lean into that and go out there and not have to worry about that whole imposter syndrome really just giving you that huge butterfly in the stomach that makes you go and toss your cookies before the show.